Eindhoven. Hello, this is the OSCEdays interview with Eindhoven. I'm Lars, this is...
I'm Julia.
And I'm Tim.
And I'm Sam. And we are in Berlin, and we are interviewing now Fitria, who is in Eindhoven.
Yes.
Hey Fitria, tell us a little bit about your event. Where is it and how many people are there?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Fitria. I work for Philips Healthcare. At the moment, we are organizing an event for the open source circular economy. So the goal of our event is to implement open source, unlock its values for large companies. And we have invited external experience for open source in order for people to be more familiar with what exactly it is. We've also invited two internal speakers. The first one is a program director of circular economy, so everyone knows about the circular economy within Philips. And the other speaker is actually a data visualization designer at Philips, who is also very familiar with open source. So we have a lot of different backgrounds to create knowledge and to share knowledge, which is definitely all aligned with open source.
Tell us a little bit, why are you interested in open source, and why do you think that the combination of open source and circular economy matters or could be very interesting? Why were you interested in joining the OSCEdays at all?
Okay, so first of all, I'm more familiar with the circular economy because for my work, it's the circular economy is just the angle that we approach. And right now within Philips, we really want to accelerate the circular economy by motivating our colleagues to come up with their initiatives, with their own initiatives within their respective roles in the company. And within Philips, we actually want to close business loops as much as possible, because we know, of course, that circular economy is about closing the business loops, and it's about extending created values. So one of the enablers of the circular economy that we acknowledge within Philips is collaboration. And for collaboration, we really see an opportunity for open source to be applied. Because collaboration with external parties, for example, it requires us to be transparent with sharing our knowledge and data and everything that we have here to accelerate the circular economy and our business.
You already did in a way, but could you, for us, if you meet someone who hears the open source for the first time, how would you explain it to them? What is open source?
For someone okay, wait. So what's my impression of open source for the first time? Was that the question?
No. If I don't know what is open source and I ask you, how would you explain it to me?
Open source is sharing knowledge, sharing intellectual property in order to create win-win situations and to learn from each other. And Peter Troxler said something about it, but I forgot, so I'm just gonna walk you to Peter Troxler. He said something and I forgot about it. But yeah, basically that's it.
That's a great impression, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the stuff you have worked on today? Maybe present something? No, show us around a little bit if you like.
Okay, so I'm going to show you around to the space. We call it our open source space right now. At first we had a presentation, so everybody was looking at the screen, so the chairs were all aligned. But now we have broken down the space sort of in different tables, where we have 3 challenges, and each table is assigned to one challenge. And the challenges are presented by the challengers, and they're all within Philips. So everyone is allowed to just sit down on a table that they want, and they're supposed to work on one challenge for 20 minutes. And each challenge has 3 questions. So once you're working on the first round, you're working on the first question of one challenge. So when that round is over, you move over to the next table and you move over to a different challenge, but also to a different question. And you build up from what has already been discovered by your previous team members. That's basically what's going on. So now I'm just going to show you. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our open source space. I'm going to ask everyone to just say hi to us. So everyone, this is open source circular economy days organizers, and we want to show them what we've been doing so far. So can someone here, or you're just starting? Yeah. So can someone here tell me a little bit about what you've been doing so far?
And some of your learnings and the problems you occurred.
Yeah.
Found.
Okay.
We are just starting discussion about how LED lighting and fashion, so wearable clothes, can go together, and what that has some kind of impact on eco-sustainability. If this can be a good thing or a bad thing for the society if we put electronics into our clothes, and if we can wash those clothes, and if we can also make it a hygienic thing. So also for medical, it's also important. But I think we start the discussion now because we have only limited time.
Yeah. So I'm afraid we're gonna have to leave them to it, and I'm gonna move you to the next table. Do you have any questions, by the way, about that other table, or?
No, sounds great.
Okay. Okay. So this is the next table.
Organizers of the Open Source Circular Economy Days. They're from Berlin, and we actually want to have like a short impression of what you're doing right now. So what have you been doing so far? What's the discussion about?
Marcus was just explaining.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna sit and we're gonna look at listen to Marcus right now.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Can you see Marcus?
Hi guys. Hello. Hi. We have a challenge here around medical equipment and utilization of medical equipment, and how can you improve that with open source means. So how could you actually share machine data so that you do better scheduling, better resource exploitation, better service for the hospital and the patients. All right, so that's the topic, and we're just wrapping up the first session here where we were talking about how you can actually make that, well, let's say the problem that we stated was that the data has to be reliable and accurate, because especially in this setting, it's very critical that you have that quality check. That was a question mark that the participants had, and one of the answers that were given were, well, it should be an open standard. It should be industry standards, because you have different vendors with different equipment, and they should all comply to a standard. And then, of course, we came into the question, okay, so open source, open standard, how do those compare? Who is contributing to the standard? Who can modify the standard? These were questions that were asked in the first round. And I might have skipped a few things, but I think I pretty much got most of this. So I would like to introduce the second round, based on that questioning and knowledge that we have just had. I wanted to open the floor to the motivations of stakeholders. So who would be the main stakeholders, and why would they be pushing forward or blocking such an initiative? So that's a little bit the question that I would like to treat the next 15 minutes. And we used Post-its, or we wrote on the table, so no rules, you can do whatever you want. And basically the person who speaks is being held by somebody who writes down.
Okay, thank you very much, Marcus. Good luck, everyone, with your challenge. Okay, so that was the second table. I'm going to bring you now to the third table. Hi, guys. I'm sorry.
We're live streaming here with the Open Source Circular Economy Days organizers. They're from Berlin, and we want to ask you a little bit about your impressions of today and what you've been doing so far. So if we could just sit here and sort of watch the action as you go along.
All right.
Okay, so maybe a brief explanation about the challenge.
The challenge is here. It's poo. Where is it?
Human value.
It's how can a linked open data source platform gain human value, and how can such a data platform gain business value for Philips? So here you go. Crack that one.
Yeah. It's a very concise, but it's also a very broad question, so everyone can just bring in their ideas and perspectives to it.
The first thing we get some verticals like what is valuable data for an end user, and that's environmental data, that's product data, that's healthcare data, social data, and personal and location data. So the question is now, what as a user
is the end value of all these vertical data? What do you want to have at the end of the day? What do you want to share back?
A better, easier, healthier life.
A better, easier, healthier life. Can somebody pin that down? A better, healthier.
So right now you're basically like a brainstorming session. Everyone's just putting out their ideas on the table, and it's sort of an ongoing process. Right? We're just going to leave you to it.
Okay.
And thank you very much for your explanation, and good luck, everyone. Okay. So that was the final table. Excuse me, it's very dark in here. So that was the final table. I don't know. Do you want any more? Do you have any more questions?
I'm interested in the response to Peter Droxler's talk. How did you feel that people were interested in it? Did you feel that people were kind of found certain areas had more potential, or some areas were more kind of unusual or scary about open source? Were there interesting questions that came out of the topics he brought up?
Not necessarily, but the impressions that we had of, I'm sorry, Peter Troxler's over here right now. You can ask the question yourself.
So hi.
Hey.
With the open source circular economy based organizing.
Peter.
Right now, they have a presentation. They were wondering if the people, when we were presenting open source, whether they had certain impressions or whether they weren't fully understanding what open source actually is about. There was one question, right?
There was one question, and that was a really intelligent question. That was the question how we actually combine the open source idea, open sourcing data and information on the one hand side, and the scarcity of materials, which is very much a topic of the circular economy on the other hand. So from that question, I gather they really properly understood the two issues and wanted to actually explicitly make that connection. Funny enough, there's a book chapter about exactly that topic that I've written with a colleague from Paris like a year ago or so.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, it would be interesting if you could share that with us.
Yeah,
for the reporting.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
that
of
would be
course.
great. Thank you so much.
I'll send you that.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. We'll include that in the reporting. Okay. So does that answer your question, Sam?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you. I would have a last question. Do you have a plan? How do you want to document the outcome of your challenges and store them somewhere so that others can study it and we can also have a look at it and maybe.
Yeah, of course. So we have the Etherpad that Sam so nicely sent to me. So I'm already working on yay. I'm already working on the notes. As we had the presentations in the beginning of our event, I was already writing down some of the comments. And when the outcomes of the challenges will be presented, I will also be writing it down on the Etherpad. But we also have strong connections with The Guardian. So we want to create some content of this and post it to The Guardian, if possible.
Fantastic.
Yes, so it's been thought of. Definitely.
Okay. I'm running out of questions. Someone of you have a question to ask?
I'm totally fine.
Okay. Hey, Fitria, thank you very much. Looks like you're a really exciting and inspiring event. Do you have something to say to the community? Do you have a message to send for the people who's looking at this?
Oh, I just hope that people will keep an open mind to open source and that we can keep on sharing and enabling our community to become stronger and to exchange knowledge and to make it something more tangible in the future. Yeah, that's my final message.
Thank you very much, Fitria.
You're welcome. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.